right, let's figure out how to put these stickers on your piano. Now, there's two octaves or two sets of letters here, so we want to use both of those sets. It goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then the next set also says A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's because on piano, and on any instrument really, there's only 7 letters in our musical alphabet. So I'm going to show you how to find A, and then the rest of them are going to be really super simple. So you'll notice on your piano, no matter how big it is, even if it's not a full 88 keys like this one is, that there's a set of 3 notes followed by a set of 2 notes, and then 3, and then 2, and then 3. If you've got a really big piano, then the bottom might be weird. Like this one only has just 1 at the bottom, but mostly it's just a set of 3 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3. So to find that A, we're going to take any group of 3, like those right there. We're going to take the middle note, that one right there, and we're just going to drag it up a little bit. Now, up and down is going to be important, especially later on. We're going to take that and we're going to drag it to the right a little bit. So that direction, if we drag it 1 note to that direction, land on a white note, that one is A. So that's our A. The rest of them are just going to follow right after that, just like they do in the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That was 1 octave of letters, and then the next one over is going to be an A, and it just starts back over again. B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So your piano might have like up to 7 octaves, 7 sets of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but you only have 2 of them here. That's because really you're mostly playing in the middle area. So what we want to do is take off the first one, the one that is an A, and we want to put that one on that A. Now, again, be careful here, because if we get this wrong right here, then it could mess up the whole thing. Take a group of 3. I would recommend taking it, like, if this is kind of the middle of my piano, then I would start just slightly below the middle of the piano. So that one right there is probably where I'm going to put my first A. So now I have an A on that one. Now, eventually, you want to just be able to have all of these stickers off. So if they fall off accidentally a little bit later on, that's perfectly fine. That's actually really good. If they don't fall off, then probably every, I don't know, week or 2 or 3 or 4, maybe just peel off one of the letters so that you can get used to just looking, like sitting down at a piano knowing, oh, that's an A, and that's a D, and that's an E. That'll take a lot of practice, but slowly we want to be able to just sit down at any piano and not be like, go over to your cousin's house and tell him, hey, I play piano, and have him be like, okay, cool, play me a song. You're like, oh, I have to be on one that has the stickers on it. That's kind of a bummer. So eventually you want to have all these stickers off. But for right now, we just want to put the next one down. That's a B, and then a C. I'll put down all this full octave here. That's our D, and our E, and F. Now, some people prefer to put them up a little bit higher like that. That way you can like play the note and still see what the letter is. But again, it might be helpful, if that works for you, that's fine. But it might be helpful to have them down here so that as you play the note, you can't quite see what it is. And you get used to just seeing your finger playing an F and relating that to like, oh, an F is always right below a group of 3 black notes. So that might be kind of cool too. So at this point, I've got 1 full octave of letters here. I haven't used any of the little skinny weird ones here. We'll talk about those in just a second. So I've got 1 full octave, and I've got this other octave. Now, I could, if I want to, go on down this direction. I could go like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and put them there. What I would recommend doing, though, is just kind of spread out from there. So maybe put like an A and a B and a C on there after that. So I'm going to put A right there, a B right here, and a C right here. So there we go. Now I've got like an octave and a couple notes on here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And then I'd put some off to this side too. So the one right here would not be a B. So this is something that a lot of beginners confuse because they go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but that's not quite how it works because the alphabet goes up this direction. So right before an A would be the very last letter that we used. The very last letter that we used before we started back over was G, because we went A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So if this one's an A, this one should be a G. That's probably the most confusing part of the letters And probably if you were going to leave a couple stickers on, if you were peeling stickers off, maybe leave the A and the G on there, because that's kind of a confusing thing. And it's really tough. Eventually, you'll be able to go backwards through your alphabet pretty easily. Is G, F, E, D, C, B, A. And just because I have to like count down a lot. So from here, down one note, that's an F. Down one note, that's an E. So you get used to counting your alphabet backwards when you're playing piano. But right before that G would be an F. There we go. And right before the F would be, and you can count forwards on this. That's what everybody does. So right before an F is what? Well, A, B, C, D, E, F, E, F, E, E, E. E is right before an F. Cool. So we have that one. And at this point, I've used up my full 2 octaves. So I've got a D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And maybe, you know, you want to put this C here, down here. That would totally be allowed. These are not technically reusable, but they do come off without leaving marks on your piano. So you might want to reposition that one. So now I've got C through B. It doesn't really matter. Again, these are all eventually coming off anyway. But that way, you get used to seeing the A and the G right next to each other. That's kind of a big deal. That like G to A, that's not really in music. That's not less common than any of the other moves. So G to A, even though it's a weird thing in our alphabet, on the piano, like playing an A and a G right next to each other, that happens all the time. So I'd rather you not see the piano in chunks of A, B, C, D, F, G, and then chunk, A, B, C, D, F, G, and then chunk, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It just needs to be like a big flowing C, D, E, F, G, A, B, or whatever the set is. So if it doesn't start at A, that's probably a good thing. Also, on piano, usually the C is the most important note. You will be using C a whole lot, especially in the lower levels. So starting at C and like being able to just like play a C, for a lot of people, that's like the first note that they learn, which is weird, again, on the alphabet. It's not weird on the piano, but on the alphabet, starting at C, that's really super weird. But that's a lot of times the first letter that a person learns on the piano. So C is going to be important. So maybe start it at a C, or not, whatever. We need to talk about these weird ones in the middle. So the first one says A hashtag B and then like a lowercase b. So the hashtag is sharp. The like lowercase b thing is a flat. So this one that says A hashtag, which is A sharp, and B flat, and there we go. That one right there. That's going to go on the note that's in between A and B. We'll talk about why in just a second. But we've got an A and a B right here, or you could go to this A and B right here. And we're going to put this one right here on the black note that's between A and B, because there's 2 names for this note. This one is A sharp because it's slightly higher, slightly to the right, slightly higher than A. It's also B flat because it's slightly lower than B. So this is B. This is the note that's slightly lower, so it's B flat. This is A. This is the note that's slightly higher, so it's A sharp. So knowing that, the rest of these will be pretty easy to put on because there's a one that's here that says C sharp and D flat. And even if you don't remember what the sharp and the flat mean, you know there's a C and a D on there, so you should put it on the note that's in between C and D. And again, like which ones of these you use will depend on where you put these big circle ones. So, you know, if you put the big circle ones on this set of notes right here, make sure you use these ones on those notes that are in between the set that you used. So in my case, it would go from this C sharp or D flat all the way up to this A sharp or B flat. And then you've got all your letters on, and then you're playing songs, and really the only goal is, like I said, over the next several weeks or after you learn several songs, start taking one sticker at a time off and see how it goes. Maybe just stick it somewhere else. You know, we'll put this F maybe up here on a different F up here. That way you still have it. And if later on that's a really tricky one for you and your music says to play an F and you can never find it and you don't know where it is, then you can always come back and put this one back on in case that was too much of a problem. So maybe don't throw them away right away. But the goal is eventually that you can go to any piano because they're all going to have the sets of 3 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 2 and just know where the letters are and be able to jump around. Once you have that memorized, then you're well on your way to playing some awesome music. Good luck. Have fun.